with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson Wax products for home and industry present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. Somebody should put up a monument or write a great poem in honor of the man who first discovered linoleum. I don't know who he was, but I do know that he deserves a big bouquet, and I think you ladies will agree with me. He brought cheerfulness and color into your kitchen, added beauty to other rooms in your home. He gave you a floor that will last many years if you take proper care of it. Now, the easy way to do that, the easy way to protect it, keep it sparkling with very little work, is with Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat. There's practically no work with Glow Coat. You simply apply and let dry. In 20 minutes, your floor is beautifully polished with no rubbing or buffing because Glow Coat is self-polishing. And what's more, your floor will be protected against dirt, moisture, and wear. In fact, your linoleum will last 6 to 10 times longer if you protect it regularly with Glow Coat. It's recommended by linoleum manufacturers themselves and used with great satisfaction in homes everywhere. The McGees haven't done much reading lately. In 1922, they bought the famous 5-foot shelf of books, but were pretty disillusioned when they found Dr. Eliot didn't even tell what to do for a simple case of Charlie horse. But hungry again for good literature, we find them in the Wistful Vista Book Nook at 14th and Oak. Fibber McGee and Molly.
We'd better be buying a book, dearie. We've been browsing in here for an hour and a half, and the lady in charge is giving us some dirty looks.
It don't bother me any. I've been looked at dirty by experts. Hey, I wonder if they got a copy of A Bough Grows in Brooklyn.
Isn't that a tree grows in Brooklyn?
Oh, they wouldn't have that. This is just a branch library. Let's see now. Oh, boy, look at here, Molly. The Book of Models. Oh, airplanes.
McGee, here comes yourself. I think we're going to get the old heave-ho.
Oh, yeah? I guess we got as much right in here. Oh, hi, sis. How do you find business?
I just look out the front window and it walks past. Have you found a book you like, sir, finally?
I'm afraid not,
Mrs. Tolliver, madam.
Oh, Tolliver, eh? You any relation to the chairman of the pool table committee at the Elks Club, sis? Old Oliver Tolliver?
I'm his first wife.
Oh.
His first wife.
Yes, and his last, he says.
Might tell Oliver we were in, sis. I'm Fibber McGee, my wife, Mrs. McGee.
How do you do, I'm sure?
How do you do? My husband has told me a great deal about you, Mr. McGee. You'll find the cheap editions on the table in the rear.
My husband is looking for a good, interesting book, Mrs. Tolliver.
How about a good mystery story, Mr. McGee?
Now you're cooking, sis. Take my little hot hand and lead me to him. Dig me one.
Here's the latest, Mr. McGee, The Case of the Cross-Eyed Cat, by Ellery Stanley Reinhardt.
Oh, he writes good ones.
He writes under 5 different names, you know.
Modesty?
Alimony.
Oh.
How much is this, sis?
$2, sir.
$2. Why?
We'll take this book, Mrs. Tolliver. Here you are.
Thank you.
What's the idea, sis?
I ring it up 25 cents at a time. There's another bookshop next door, and they think we're doing a whale of a business. Shall I wrap the book for you?
Yes, please.
All right. In the first place, it's very badly written. The characters are corny, the plot is lousy, and the action is...
Hey, what are you doing?
Wrapping the book.
Oh. I thought you meant wrap it up.
That book I can wrap up and down. Do come in again, folks.
Well, thanks. Remember me to Oliver, Mrs. Tolliver.
Leave it to me, Mr. McGee.
Hawkins, the Hawk, known to the trembling underworld.
Oh, what's that top step, McGee?
Where was I? Oh, yeah. As Jeffrey Hawkins, known to a trembling underworld as the Hawk, raised his knife and fired 3 times.
Raised what and fired?
His knife. This detective had a trick knife that was a combination pistol, see? Kept it under his hat.
Must have been very handy. He could shoot from the hip if he was double jointed.
This guy's got everything, Molly. He's terrific. There's been 7 murders already, and 5 of them.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee. Been out for a walk?
Went down to the bookshop, Alice.
Oh.
Show Alice the book we bought, McGee. McGee, show Alice the book we bought.
He doesn't hear a word we're saying, Mrs. McGee. What on earth is he reading?
It's a murder mystery. McGee!
Oh, no, you don't, you black-hearted devils. James were never forced to hold Jeffrey Hawkins against...
4411 out of
Oh, hi, Alice. Oh, are we home?
We came home 5 minutes ago, Jeffrey.
That must be a terribly interesting book, Mr. McGee.
Oh, baby, this is a doozer. 7 murders already, and I'm just getting to the interesting part.
Sounds like it would make a great picture with Gory Cooper.
You can read it when I get through, Alice. It's the case of the cross-eyed cat.
Oh, that one. That's the one where the murderer turns out to be...
Hey, don't tell me. My goodness.
No, don't give the plot away, Alice. Though I'll bet that's the only way the author could get rid of it.
Well, I read it last week, Mrs. McGee. Mr. McGee, have you got to the place yet where Jeffrey Hawkins goes into the opium den disguised as the Chinese crooner Bing Sing Lo?
McGee, Alice asked you a question.
Oh, we better let the poor man read his book, Mrs. McGee.
All right, Alice. Let's go upstairs so we can talk.
Oh, swell. I want you to show me again how to knit a sweater. I'll have to rip out the one I started because I don't know any soldiers with 3 arms.
Come on, Alice, I'll show you. I don't know which of you has more trouble with your yarn, you or McGee. In the first place...
Ah, you missed me, you thieving rats. One more shot and... Hey, Molly. Where's Alice? Where's Molly? Oh, I must have left her at the bookstore. Let me see where was I? Oh, yeah. Hand over hand, Jeffrey Hawkins climbed the radio tower as the boys down.
Billy Mills in the orchestra and on the sunny side of the street.
Hey, Molly, listen to this. Jeffrey poised himself gracefully at the top of the wall. Down below, the hardened criminals were making the night hideouts with their yells of defiance.
They were making a night what?
Hideouts. That's what it says here. Hideouts.
How's it spelled?
Hideous. Hideouts.
Why? Why, McGee, that's hideous.
Oh, I think it is, too. Them foreign words always show. Back on page 39, there's a... What's cooking?
Beulah's baking an apple pie.
Smells good. Can I have a piece to eat while I read my book and a glass of root beer?
I'll ask Beulah if it's done yet. Beulah! Oh, Beulah!
Somebody fall for Beulah?
Yeah, how about a slab of that pie to eat while I read, Beulah?
Yeah, he wants to ruin his stomach while he improves his mind, but I think it's too near dinner time.
I don't believe in that don't eat between meals business, man. My mom always says, Julius, you see, this here is a tough old world. Rest when you can, eat when possible, and work if you gotta. And you gotta.
Personally, I always like to take up the slack with a snack. I love to sit down with a hunk of pie and a good book like this.
Don't tell me you're reading the case of the cross-eyed cat, Mr. McGee.
Yes, he is, Beulah.
You know the book?
Not personally, sir. But Ira, he was reading it last night. Ira, that's a gentleman to whom I'm engaged to more than anybody else.
Did Ira like the book, Beulah?
Man, he says the word's kind of trash, but he liked it. Ira says stuff like Mr. Stories is escape literature.
Very intelligent analysis, Beulah. They call it that, Molly, on account of books like this help you escape the realities of life.
Thank you too much, Professor.
That ain't what Ira means, sir. He means he's so ashamed of anybody seeing him reading that junk, he'd take it out on a fire escape to read.
Yes, but he enjoyed it.
Oh, yes, ma'am. He say that book is so full of sudden death, he's afraid to put his finger in it to mark his place.
Now, you can say that again.
Yes, sir. He say that book's so full of sudden death.
No, Beulah.
Oh.
McGee was just agreeing with you.
I'll say so. They use so darn much ammunition in these books, it's a wonder the WPB don't clamp down on.
You know, I like a good, drippy love story myself. Cupid may be stupid, but love gets you furthered and murdered.
Cupid may be stupid. Love that little lady.
Look now, dearie, try and limit yourself to one piece of pie, will you? We're having a nice meatloaf for dinner, and McGee.
Oh, thanks, Beulah. Just set the pie on the table there, and I'll eat it in a minute. Crouched in a corner of the boxcar, kidnapped Carson drew a bead on the back of Jeffrey Hawkins' head. Slowly, his finger tightened on the trigger. What? Somebody speak to me?
Well, it can wait till you kill Mr. Hawkins, dearie. Though I can hardly.
Where's my pie? Where'd Beulah put it?
She hasn't brought it in yet.
Why, she did, too. I heard her speak to me. I told her to set it on the table there.
Look, McGee, you get so buried in that homicide handbook that you don't know who is speaking to you.
Huh?
I merely asked you not to eat too much before dinner.
Oh, okay. Now, where was I?
Kidnapped Carson's finger was tightening on the trigger.
Oh, kidnapped. Oh, yeah, here. Suddenly...
Who is kidnapped Carson?
Look, Molly, you can read it when I get through. All I ask is to be left in peace. My gosh, a man can't even read a book around here without help.
Hello, folks.
Oh, this is all I need.
Now, don't be rude, McGee. How are you, Mr. Wilcox?
Swell, Molly. How are you, pal? What's the matter? What's he so at me for?
Oh, it isn't you, Mr. Wilcox. He's got a new murder mystery, and he can't tear his eyes off.
Oh, I'm sorry, pal. I just dropped in to pass the time of day.
What time you got, Junior?
4:17.
I got 4:22. Now, can we consider the time of day passed, and can I get on with my book?
McGee, you're being very uncivil.
No, he's right, Molly. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Fibber.
That's okay, Junior. But when a guy finds a marvelous book like the case of the cross-eyed cat, a guy can't help
Oh,
it.
the case of the cross-eyed cat. Gee, I just read that night before last. You know who the killer is yet, pal?
No, I don't. And furthermore...
Well, you'll be as surprised as I was when it turns out to be the
Mr. Wilcox, please.
Don't tell me. Gee whiz, point killer. If you like to read mysteries, you ought to have more sense than to tip the plot.
Yeah, I guess I should at that. I don't read them very often anymore, though. They irritate me.
Why, Mr. Wilcox?
Oh, here it comes.
Well, for the love of Mike, in those books, the police are always checking somebody's fingerprints. No self-respecting crook leaves fingerprints in this day and age.
I still don't know how he's going to do it, but he'll get it in there some way.
Well, can't a crook be careless, Mr. Wilcox?
Oh, I suppose so, but my point is that fingerprints are so outdated. Every good housewife knows that. With the furniture and woodwork protected with a coat of Johnson's wax, fingerprints are a thing of the past.
What'd I tell you?
If these fiction writers knew as much as a smart housewife, they'd forget that fingerprint stuff. Women know that when lampshades and tabletops and chair arms and banisters have their surfaces sealed against dust and dampness with Johnson's wax, why, the mere flick of a dust cloth eliminates unsightly smudging.
Yes, but, Mr. Wilcox, you're taking it for granted that all those crimes take place in well-regulated homes. This Jeffrey Hawkins seems to spend most of his time in boxcars and opium dens. Would an opium den be after you, Johnson's wax?
Well, I don't know why not. Even a dope knows Johnson's wax is the finest product of its kind. Well, get on with your book, Alan.
Johnson's wax is drug den.
Well, you might have at least said goodbye to him, McGee. Oh, dear. Looks like I'd have to sue Jeffrey Hawkins for alienation of affection. McGee, I'm going upstairs and mend some socks. He's going to miss me like Jones misses Wallace. I suppose he'll come after me about page 310.
It was then that Jeffrey Hawkins realized he was not alone in the murky darkness of the old abandoned cider mill. The atmosphere was tense with sinister possibilities. Suddenly a shot rang out. Oh, my gosh, this is realistic. Jeffrey whirled, senses alert, mind clear as a bell. Oh, boy, can this guy write? I can almost hear them bell. Oh, hey, Molly, there's somebody that... Hey, Molly. Oh, sure. Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, hello there, Teeny. Look, would you be cut to the quick if I told you to come back some other time? I'm busy.
Doing what, mister? Doing what?
I'm reading a mystery story, sis. Case of the cross-eyed cat. Under difficulties, too. When people aren't interrupting me, they're trying to tell me who the murderer is.
Oh? Who is it?
I don't know, sis. I'm bad. Ordinarily, it would be some mousy little character who was always in the background, but that guy got strangled on page 82.
Oh, gee. Will you read it to me, mister? Will you?
Oh, now, don't be silly, sis. I've almost finished the book. I don't want to go clear back over the whole thing.
Well, gee, mister, can't you give me kind of a short Sinatra of it?
Sinatra? You don't mean a Sinatra. You mean a synopsis.
Well, gee, can't you tell me?
No.
Okay. Anyway, I bet you I know the story anyway, I bet you. My daddy has read that book. I'll tell you who the murderer is for a quarter.
I don't want to know who the murderer is. Everybody wants to tell
I
me.
know who the killer is.
Well, don't tell me.
For a quarter, I won't tell you.
I won't say it.
Okay. The killer.
Don't tell me. Here's a quarter, sis. Now beat it, will you?
Gee, thanks, mister. You're awfully nice to little children.
Well, I wish little children would reciprocate. Now scram, will you?
Okay. Hey, mister.
Now what do you want?
I didn't know who the killer was at all. Gee, are you ever a patsy?
Yeah, I guess I am, sis. Otherwise, I'd never have been fooled by it myself.
Fooled by what, mister?
That lead quarter I just gave you. Still think that kid's a midget. Now, let me see. Oh, yeah. Jeffrey's hand flashed to his shoulder holster, and the moonlight glinted on the blue steel of his automatic. Cautiously, he scaled the palace wall and peered in through the half-open window. And there before his eyes sat the king and the king's men.
And by an odd coincidence, here are the King's Men to sing the Chul song.
Who said a woodchuck would? Would he chuck another woodchuck's foot? If a would chuck, a could chuck, a did chuck, a could book a diddle on a boo. Slow reel, choo, 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 I rule. Choo like Jack, a choo, a bottle cool. Every time I see it, silly by the wheel, book a diddle on a boo. Slow reel, ooch, ooch, ooh, I rule. Choo like Jack, a choo, a bottle cool. Every time I see it, silly by the wheel, book a diddle on a boo. Slow reel, no rhyme or reason, but kind of pleasing, always in season. met with a gal and her name was the silly side of her side of silly. Won't you be less chilly? You should have seen the change come over that filly. Polka-diddle-all-a-boo, slow reel. Choo, choo, choo-la-roo. Choo-la, chag-a-rack, choo-la-baba-coo. Every time I see the silly by the wheel, polka-diddle-all-a-boo, slow reel. Slice it thick or slice it thin. It ain't where you're going, it's where you've been. This is just where I came in. Polka-diddle-all-a-boo, slow reel. The tune is teasy, so cool and breezy. Just take it easy. Choo, choo, choo-la-roo. Choo-la, chag-a-rack, choo-la-baba-coo. Last time I saw Billy by the wheel, polka-diddle in the riddle with a fiddle in the middle, took a diller in the back feather. Sure, sure, sure. How silly it makes you feel. Polka-diddle-all-a-boo, so real. So real. So real. Never get a better with a diller in the back feather.
Jeffrey Hawkins reviewed the clues one by one, and he knew he could solve the case easy as pie. 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 Hey, Molly, I thought Julie was going to bring me a piece of pie.
I brought you a piece of pie and a glass of milk 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, what did I do with it?
You ate it.
My gosh, how do you know about that? Gee, I hope I enjoyed it.
I do, too. You know, I'll be awfully happy when you finish that book, dearie. Do you know who the murderer is yet?
No, but Jeffrey Hawkins is just as dumb as I am. He don't know either. However, I only got a page and a half to go, so doggone it, will you listen to that doorbell all afternoon? Clang, 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 ding, 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 bong, bong, bong. Never a minute's peace.
Don't be silly, dearie. It's only rung twice.
Well, tell whoever it is to go thread a noodle. I'm busy.
Well, I'm not. Come in. Oh, hello, Dr. Gamble.
Hello, Molly. Hello, Spring Saver.
Hi, Magpie. Hi. Hi. Hey, Molly, did you look
Yes. You ate it, dearie.
Oh.
Look, Lumpy, have you any semi-formal social commitments for this evening?
Nary a commitment, Doctor, formal or otherwise.
Why, Nosy?
Because if not, I should like to borrow back the dress shirt you borrowed from me last month when you thought you were going to be invited to Washington to the president's birthday ball. Heaven knows why.
Well, when he sent in his contribution to the March of Dimes, he enclosed his card saying, fine extemporaneous speaker, does card tricks, sings harmony good, and can take off vest without removing coat.
Clark Gable was invited, and what's he got that I haven't got?
Talent, to mention one little item out of 2 or 3 million.
Are you going to a formal party tonight, Doctor?
Well, Medical Society's meeting, Molly. I'm reading a paper.
You're just bad-mannered enough to do it, too. Sit there all evening and read a paper when all...
The doctor means he's making a speech, dearie. Yes, he's making a speech. What's the subject of your paper, Doctor?
Oh, it's just a simple little thing. The title is A Pragmatic Approach to the Histology of Hypertension and its Correlation with Freudian Hypotheses Related to Mass Psychology of Wartime Stresses.
Sounds a little dull, kid. Want me to take it and gag it up for you?
All I want from you, broad britches, is my dress shirt. Do I get it, or do I have to swear out a writ of replevin?
Okay, Doc, come on upstairs and identify. Time's a wasting. I got to get back to my book.
Just what is that lurid little hunk of half-baked Hemingway you're so involved with?
A new mystery, Doctor. The case of the cross-eyed cat.
Oh, that's the one where the murderer turns out to be the...
Cut it out, will you? I want to read it myself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, let's get the shirt.
Okay.
This meeting tonight... Thanks very much, McGee. Sorry to have troubled you, but I hate to make a stiff speech in a soft shirt.
Thanks for lending it to me, Doc. Now go on home, will you? I want to finish my book. Where's my book? Hey, Molly, where's my book? I laid it right here on the table when I went upstairs.
Well, I'm sure I don't. Oh, heavenly days. I'll bet those soldiers took it along with the others.
Soldiers? What soldiers?
I saw a Jeep out in front while we were upstairs.
Huh? Yes, the soldiers stopped to pick up some books I had ready for them for the camp library, and I suppose McGee's book got mixed up with them.
Oh, my gosh. Boy, this is terrible. I only had a page and a half to go. I got to get it back. Where's my hat? Which way did it go?
your blood pressure, Fatso. That Jeep is miles away by
Well, then I'll chase him. Give me your car keys,
now,
Doc.
wait a minute.
Thanks a lot. I'll be right back, Molly. Hey, Bud, did you see a Jeep full of books go past here?
Yeah, they turned south on 14th Street, mister. Anything wrong?
Yeah, they took my cross-eyed cat, and I got to find out who the killer is. Thanks, Bud.
I don't know why these drunken drivers...
Hey, lady, did a Jeep go past here full of soldiers and books?
Yes, it turned west on Oak Street. Is something the matter?
Well, I'll say so. They kidnapped my kid, or kidnapped my cat. I mean, they booked my kid. They took my book. Never mind. Hey, man, did you see a Jeep go past here full of books?
Yeah, it did.
How long ago?
3 weeks ago Friday.
Go fry a pig.
Go milk a coconut.
All right, buddy, pull over.
Now, look, officer, I was merely
Driver's license.
I haven't got a driver's license. This is a friend of mine's car.
Did he say you could borrow it?
Well, no, not exactly, but I...
42 miles an hour in a 20-mile zone. Left turn with no signal. No driver's license. Stolen car. Citizen, you're in trouble.
Now, just a darn minute. I was only trying to get a mystery book back that was took by mistake by some soldiers because I hadn't finished it yet, and I only had a page and a half to go, and I was...
Murder mystery? What's the title?
The Case of the Cross-Eyed Cat.
You like it?
Like it? It was marvelous. That Jeffrey Hawkins was the greatest character
I thought it was junk myself.
Oh, a critic, huh? Clifton Fadiman in puttees. Did you read The Case of the Cross-Eyed Cat?
Read it. I wrote it.
Huh?
Now go on, get out of here and behave yourself. Here's something that's worth repeating over and over again. To take better care of your things, try waxing them. Getting replacements is still difficult, and anyway, it's just good sense to make things last, keep them clean, protect them against wear. Dust and dirt, you know, wear things out more than anything else. That's why I say take better care of your things by waxing them. Give your floors, furniture, and woodwork a protective shield of genuine Johnson's wax. Protect all wood, leather, and enameled surfaces with this same wax polish. Every application of Johnson's wax gives not only greater protection, but brings out all the natural beauty of the finish. Floors that are regularly waxed grow lovelier every year, and they never need expensive refinishing. There are 100 extra labor-saving uses in your home for genuine Johnson's wax, which you can buy from your dealer in one of 3 forms: paste, liquid, or creamy.
And that's how it was, Molly. I didn't get my book back, but at least they didn't toss me in the pokey.
Well, don't feel bad about the book, dearie. We got a new mystery in the mail this afternoon.
We did? What's the name of it?
Murder on March 15th by H. Morgenthau.
How does it pay off?
That's the mystery.
Oh, I see what you mean. Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This is the National Broadcasting Company. The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson Wax products for home and industry present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. lady said to me the other day, I couldn't keep house without your Johnson's wax. It has so many uses that it seems like an old friend helping me with my work. Well, that's something I like to hear because I've taken up a lot of your time in the last 10 years talking about the many extra uses for Johnson's wax in the home. What this lady has learned is that Johnson's wax is more than just a polish. It's a method of protective housekeeping. With every application of this famous wax to floors, furniture, and woodwork, you accomplish three things. You protect these surfaces against dirt, moisture, and wear. You make house cleaning easier all year round, save yourself hours of work, make your home cleaner, and therefore healthier. And you add beauty to every room in your house. Now add to these advantages the many extra uses for wax, and I'm sure you'll know what I mean by protective housekeeping with wax. With genuine Johnson's wax, paste, liquid, or cream. Advertisers have invented a lot of new diseases in our time. Dishpan digits, 5 o'clock fuss puss, and pipe smokers gurgle, to name a few. But what a wife dreads to see dawning in her husband's eyes is what is known as tool chest gleam. That means the old boy is going to fix something. Like right now with Fibber McGee and Molly.
Now, let me see. I got my wrench, my hacksaw, my hammer, my friction tape. What else do I need? Maybe a pair of pliers.
Sweetheart.
No, I got pliers. Folding ruler.
Darling.
Shucks, there's something missing. What is it? My crowbar? No.
McGee.
Huh?
Look, lover. Look. We've been very happy all these years.
Yes?
I've tried to be a good wife to you. You've been a good husband to me.
Oh, sure.
We love our little home. At the risk of destroying all we've built up together, I'd like to ask you a question.
Yes?
One little question. What are you going to fish?
I'm going to tune the piano.
Tune the piano. McGee, no, please, not that.
Now, keep your eyebrows down, baby. Everything's under control. I'll soon have that three-legged harpsichord tuned up so sweet, you can play the Moonlight Sonata with your mittens on. Yeah.
But, McGee, you don't know anything about tuning a piano.
Oh, no?
I've told you 100 times. If it needs tuning, get Mr. Heimler, the piano tuner.
What do you mean, if it needs tuning? Why, that jangle box has got enough flats in it to solve the housing shortage.
Well, then call Mr. Heimler.
That's not necessary. I've watched old Heimler tune this thing a dozen times. There's nothing to it. Just turn the knob till it sounds okay. And with this pit pipe, I can't miss.
Well, you win. Go ahead and tune the piano. We can always fill it full of dirt and plant nasturtiums in it.
You wait, Snooky. When I get through, this thing will sound sweeter than a new retread on a wet pavement. And if you don't think it needs tuning, listen to this.
Now try it without that cigar in your hand. I was wrong. Sounds better with the cigar.
I think it's full of sand, for one thing. I heard Beulah playing the desert song on it all morning. Well, I'll soon have her in shape. Wait till I take the lid off and get a gander at the inside. Oh, my gosh. No wonder.
What's the matter?
Look, here's that briefcase I lost last summer. And this piano. Why, look at it. The strings are all different lengths. Boy, did we get gypped when we bought this thing.
We didn't buy it.
Didn't buy it? Where'd we get it?
You won it.
Huh?
Sure. You found out the most faces in the leaves of the tree in the advertisement. And you won the piano's first prize.
I wish now I'd taken the Shetland pony.
Well, I did at the time. We had to pay $312 express on the piano when they sent it.
Well, I'll fool them. They didn't realize they were sending this thing to a born little piano tuner. Now, let me see. Where's my pitch pipe? Ah, here. At the perfect 440 G, you see.
That's A, dearie.
What'd I say, G?
Yeah.
I meant A. Now all I gotta do is sound A on the piano, see if it's the same. Wow. Is this thing off key?
You're not sounding A.
Why, I am too. A's the first letter in the alphabet, isn't it? I'm sounding the first note on the piano. Got to be A.
Well, you're right, it did. But I must say you can get more right answers by the wrong methods than anyone I know.
Oh, brother. Sure a lot of work to be done on this.
Look, McGee, are you familiar with the musical scale?
Well, Nat. Every school kid knows that. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Ah, what a musician was lost in you.
Betcha.
And I hope they never find you. What are you looking for?
Something to hold the strings apart while I tune the others. That's the way High Miller does it. Something I can wedge it. Oh, I know. That trick can opener we got. Oh, that'll do it. Where's that can? Oh, hey, Beulah. Oh, Beulah.
Somebody fall for Beulah?
Yes, Beulah. Mr. McGee is going to tune the piano and he needs that fancy can opener of ours.
Imagine you being able to tune a piano. You got the most talent.
It takes a little dexterity, Beulah, and a good ear for music.
Oh, you really have that too, dearie. The way you sing don't fence me in. Makes me think immediately of barbed wire.
I come from a musical family myself, man.
Really?
Yeah. Papa, he's hot as a dime stove frying pan on a guitar. And Mama play real New Orleans piano. And my little brother, the way that boy play a tailgate trombone makes Tommy Dodger start looking for work.
How about you, Beulah? Didn't I hear you playing the piano in here this morning?
Yes, I reckon you did. My Satan's all in on the pipe organ. But now and then I go slumming on the piano.
Do you sing too, Beulah?
Yes, ma'am. Memphis soprano. On the blues side. Picked up a pretty penny singing in the nightclub once.
What'd you do with it?
Throw it right back to the man that flung it.
Good for you, Beulah. That is very insulting.
That's what I think, man. I go back to the man and I say, Mister, I say, there's only one animal I know who can throw a cent that far, and you is one of them.
And your mother still plays the hot piano, eh, Beulah?
Yeah, so she's 82 and stomping around like the oldest 40.
Ah, that's wonderful. How does she do it, Beulah?
Well, ma'am, Mama got a philosophy. When people ask how she keeps going so good, she say, I stand easy, sit loose, and when trouble come, I go to sleep.
I never could do that, Beulah. I can stand easy and sit loose, but when trouble comes, I always run to meet it.
Yeah, when trouble comes, I always run to meet it. I love that man, and I bring your can over right away.
Billy Mills playing I Won't Dance.
You know, Molly, tuning a piano isn't too tough once you get the hang of it.
Neither's lion taming, dearie. Show me how you tune a piano. I'm full of morbid curiosity.
Oh, sure. Here, look over my shoulder. You see these little square knots in here?
Yes.
You just put a wrench on one of those and twist it till the note sounds right. Like this. Too tight.
Keep that up, McGee, and all we'll be able to play on this in Silent Night. How many strings you broken so far?
6, I think. No, 7. Old High Miller never could have done any better than that.
He never did as well. He never broke it.
Well, he ain't as strong as I am. Oh, say, you play the piano. Maybe you can tell me something.
I could tell you any number of things, dearie, but the reason we've stayed married is because I didn't. What do you want to know?
About these 3 foot pedals on the piano down below there by the floor. I know the left one is the clutch, the right one is the brake. What's the middle one for?
Well, McGee, you got me. I've been playing the piano for 20 years, ever since I was 7 years old. And I don't know what that middle pedal is for.
Oh, well, don't matter. Now, let me see. This middle G is too sharp. I gotta get that.
Hello, Mr. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee. Is Mr. Highmiller here? I thought I heard the piano tuner.
Himself there's the piano tuner, Alice.
Oh.
You play the piano, Alice?
Well, I took some lessons for a while, but I had a lot of trouble with the treble, and when it came to the bass, I never got to first. Can just anybody tune a piano, Mr. McGee?
No, I wouldn't say that, Alice. It takes a certain amount of musical knowledge.
Sure, he has quite a musical background behind him, Alice. He carried the front of the bass drum in the Peoria High School band.
Oh, I think it's so wonderful to know music. My uncle used to play in a symphony orchestra, the oboe.
How come they let a hobo play in a symphony orchestra?
He didn't say hobo, he said oboe.
Oh, an English hobo. I think.
No, Mr. McGee, an oboe is a musical instrument. My uncle used to say it was an ill woodwind that nobody blows good.
What was your uncle's name, Joe Miller?
You want to sit down with me here a while and watch him tune up, Alice? You and I on the piano might as well all get on strung together.
No, thank you, Mrs. McGee. I've got to go downtown and make a donation.
Well, if it's a good cause, Alice, you might take my donation along, too.
Well, it would be a little difficult, Mr. McGee.
Why, Alice? Where are you going?
To the blood bank. Goodbye now.
I must sound pretty professional at this, Molly, if Alice thought I was old High Miller. Now, let me see. Where was I? Oh, yeah, it's up here.
Ow! Hey! Get that reel off my head!
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Thanks.
There.
That's the 4th time that thing has fallen on me.
You're really knocking yourself out on this job, aren't you? Maybe when you...
Hello, folks.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior.
What are you doing, pal? You gonna tune the piano? Sweet Genevieve, he is going to tune the piano. Look, pal, tuning a piano is no job for amateurs. Why don't you get High Miller to come over and do it?
Oh, High Miller, High Miller, High Miller. My gosh, is he the only guy in the world that can tune a piano?
There's no use arguing with him, Mr. Wilcox. Compared to him, a Missouri mule is a very weak character.
Yeah, but gee whiz, chum, tuning a piano is a pretty tricky job. This piano is a delicate instrument.
Correction, was a delicate instrument.
Okay, scoff if you want to deride. But by George, when I get through here, this thing is going to play the sweetest music this side of Lombardo. I'll have this piano tuned so sharp. Hey, Harlow, what's the matter?
Good heavens, the man is ill. Here, Mr. Wilcox, sit down a minute. Can I get you a glass of water or something?
No, thanks. I'll be all right in a minute.
Something yet, kid?
No. It's just that, well, things like this sort of get me.
Things like what?
Oh, seeing a fine piece of furniture like this piano being abused. Or seeing a handsome piece of linoleum allowed to get worn and dull and shabby.
Oh, well, that's a relief. I thought for a minute.
It's also unnecessary. That's what gets me. It's the inefficiency and the waste. I can't stand it.
Oh, now calm yourself, Junior.
You're never guilty of things like this, Molly. Your kitchen linoleum is always shining and beautiful. And why? Because you use Johnson's self-polishing glow coat regularly. That's why.
Yes, but a piano's a different sort of...
Taking care of things in your home. That's what I'm talking about. Protecting them. Your linoleum lasts year after year, colorful and brilliant as the day you got it, because you keep it protected with Johnson's glow coat. And why you, as a good housekeeper, let a ham-handed amateur ruin a perfectly good piano?
Now, just a darn minute, Waxy. Quit shouting at my wife. And are you inferring that I'm not capable of tuning this piano?
Did you ever tune a piano?
No.
That's all, brother. Goodbye.
Why, he was really serious about that, McGee.
Well, so what? I'm not the one to let a little minor criticism stop me. Hand me my pitch pipe, will you?
Here.
Thanks. Used to use this for calling ducks, but all I ever got was sparrows. Now, where was I? Uh-oh, that one needs loosening up. Hand me my wrench. Turned it the wrong way.
Lost cord number 8. I'm afraid I can't stand this anymore, McGee. I'm going upstairs and changing my clothes. Let me know when Dr. Gamble comes.
Doc Gamble, what's he coming here
He
for?
told me he'd give me a ride downtown on his way to the hospital. I gotta do some shopping. Try and save 1 or 2 piano strings. We can use them later to hang pictures.
Okay. Ah, there goes a good kid. But stubborn. Piano has to be falling apart before she lets me tune it. And she's probably right, too. Let's see. Sure wish I knew what I was doing. I can work myself into more corners than a chain drugstore. Oh, well, that's all. Come in.
Hi, mister. What you doing? Watching.
I'm tuning this piano, Teeny. There ain't a note on it that don't need 4 cosigners.
Oh, I didn't know you could tune a piano, mister.
You didn't know I could stand on one hand and juggle a lawnmower with my feet either, did you?
Can you?
I don't know. I never tried that either. Now, sit down and keep quiet, sis. This is a delicate job, and I can't have any distractions.
Okay, Ron. I just came over to ask a favor, mister. Can I?
May I?
May I what?
May you ask me a favor?
I guess I may if I can I?
Well, what is it?
I want to practice my piano lesson on your piano. My teacher says I simply gotta practice more.
You have, huh? I says you have, eh?
Have what?
You gotta practice more.
That's just what my teacher said.
Well, you can't use this piano, sis. I'm working on it.
Let me try it, mister.
I was calling you.
Oh.
You said you came out last week.
Look, sis, look, I hate to break up a fascinating concert like this, but I gotta finish tuning
Please,
this.
mister, if you do not appreciate good music, kindly refrain from talking so that others may enjoy it.
What others?
Me?
Hey. Cut it out, sis. Cut it out. I said that's enough. I got work to do here,
You
and I
mean you're
can't.
not going to let me practice?
Right.
You do not appreciate a little child's artistic effort? I may not be a finished pianist.
You are on this piano. Look, sis, I don't...
You're going to stifle my career? Stand in the way of my musical education?
No. I'm not standing in the way of anything. I just...
Are you against little children, mister? Don't you want little children to have a musical education?
Yes. Of course I do. I think music is swell for kids.
Okay, then.
Now, look, sis. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a quarter for a soda if you'll go home and practice.
Okay, mister. Thanks. I'll get the soda, but I can't practice at home.
Why not?
My daddy gave me 50 cents to come over here and do it.
Oh.
The King's Men sing Skip to Maloo.
Don't you know, away we go. I lost my partner, skip to Maloo. I lost my partner, skip to Maloo. Lost my partner, skip to Maloo. Skip to Maloo, my darling. I'll get another one prettier than you. I'll get another one prettier than you. I'll get another one prettier than you. Skip to Maloo, my darling. Oh, skip to Maloo, ha. Skip to Maloo, hey. Skip to Maloo, my darling. Oh, gray mare has lost her shoe. Oh, gray mare has lost her shoe. Oh, gray mare has lost her shoe. Skip to Maloo, my darling. Fly in the sugar bowl. Shoe by shoe. Fly in the sugar bowl. Shoe by shoe. Fly in the sugar bowl. Shoe by shoe. Skip to Maloo, my darling. Cows in the corn. Hear them moo. Rats in the barn. Hear them chew. Don't give a darn. How about you? Skip to Maloo, my darling. Oh, skip to Maloo. Ha. Skip to Maloo. Hey. Skip to Maloo. Skip to Maloo. Skip to Maloo. Skip to Maloo. Lost my partner. What'll I do? Lost my partner. What'll I do? Find your partner. Anyone will do. Skip to Maloo. Skip to Maloo. Skip to Maloo. My old shoe is torn in two. Lost my sock and lost my shoe. Stop the fiddler, I'm all through. Skip to Maloo, skip to Maloo, skip to Maloo. Was a lady, Miss Louise O'Grady was her name. Till Grandpa made her change it. He thought he could retreat and rest his weary feet. But for 50 years, whenever she could arrange it, she made him skip to Maloo, skip. to my darling. Diamond rings, quite a few. Limousines painted blue. Mansions on the avenue. Skip to my darling. Wouldn't Grandpa really get a bang if he could go see Joe with a good old gang?
Well, that one isn't so bad. A little flat, maybe. I'll give her a couple of twists just for safety.
McGee, have you nearly finished tuning the piano?
Almost. Tightening some of these upper strings, so... Whoop. There goes another one. Hey, remind me next time I tune the piano to do it in the summertime, Molly. I think this cold weather makes the strings brittle.
It's a deal, dearie. It'll be a very hot day before I remind you to tune it again.
Thanks.
You're welcome. How does it sound now?
Oh, much better. Listen. There.
Oh, that must be Dr. Gamble. Come in. Hello, Doctor. I'm all ready.
Hello, Molly. Hello, Guppy.
Hi, skin grafter. On your way to scare some poor patient out of his wits with that solemn puss of yours?
For your information, Buster, the Gamble bedside manner is famous on 2 continents, America and Long Island. And if you... What goes on here, anyway? Got mice in the piano? Or breaking in a vaudeville act?
He's tuning it, Doctor, he claims.
And believe me, Doc, I know exactly how you felt the first time you peeked into a thorax. But there's one difference. This piano is going to live.
Baloney, if you'll pardon the colloquialism. This jukebox has got 1 foot in the junkyard already. Look at it. Keyboard all loose, lid on the floor, sounding board across the room, strings all over the place. Why, well, you bonehead, there isn't a whole string left on it.
Oh, no. Well, how about this one right here?
Say, I wonder what we can do with the piano when they all break. It's a little big for a paperweight and too small for a guest house.
Molly, this man is going to set music back 500 years. We'll all be dancing around in our bare feet playing flute. Now, look, Maestro, when you get through with this job, will you stop over at my house and give me a hand?
Your piano need tuning, Doctor?
No, but I have a bagpipe that's a little short-winded. Breezy here can blow it up for the next 6 months with 5 minutes conversation. Come on, Molly. So long, Chubby.
Good day, Tommy Thumper. Now, hurry home, Molly.
I'm here.
Now I can work in peace. I'll see, where was I? Oh, yes, I was working up here on the treble clef.
Thanks very much for bringing me home, Doctor. Sorry you can't come in for dinner.
Okay, Molly. I'm sorry, too. I'll see you both later.
Oh, dear, I'm almost afraid to look in there.
Molly, is that you?
Yes, dearie. Is everything all right?
Don't come in yet. I didn't expect you so soon. I got a little surprise. Okay, come on in.
What is it, dearie?
Oh, nothing, really. I just wanted to get the top back on the piano and get it dusted off. All set, that's all.
The piano? McGee, did you, is it,
Like I said, all tuned. As soon as you hang up your coat and hat, you might go on back downstairs and try it out.
As soon as I hang up I'll try it now. This very minute. And do I dread it? Why, McGee, that's wonderful.
Oh, shucks. I mean, well, people do it every day. Takes a little time, but...
Oh, it's wonderful, dearie. Sounds like a baby grand. Oh, it is a baby grand, isn't it? Oh, but it's going to be a pleasure to play this now. I can hardly wait to get at it. Wait till I run upstairs and hang up my coat. I certainly apologize, dearie, for everything I said. You're the most wonderful man.
Phew. Boy, that was a close call. Hey, hi, Miller. Hi, Miller. You can come out now. Hurry up.
I ought to charge you an extra $5 for sitting behind that davenport, McGee. I got a crick in my neck.
Pipe down, I know, will you? And get out of here. You better go out the back way, so.
No, not that door. No, that's the hall front.
Oh, I'm sorry, McGee. I didn't realize it.
Now beat it, will you, High Miller? Quick. Now get out that way. Send me the bill. And much obliged. Ah, well. Looks like I got away with it.
If you've just bought or intend to buy soon some new linoleum floor covering, let me give you some good advice. From the very first day you put it down, protect it with Johnson's Glow Coat, and it will last you practically forever. Regular care with Glow Coat will make it last 6 to 10 times longer and will preserve its original freshness and beauty intact. That's why linoleum manufacturers themselves recommend Glow Coat. You yourself will be saved many hours of work because Glow Coat is so easy to use. You simply put it on and it dries to a wonderful polish in 20 minutes without any rubbing or buffing. That's why Glow Coat is called self-polishing. The time it saves, you can add to your war work. The money it saves, you can use for buying war bonds.
Ladies and gentlemen, at a time when courage and loyalty and devotion to duty mean so much, we'd like to offer our congratulations to the Boy Scouts on their 35th anniversary. The Boy Scouts of yesterday are the men who will bring us victory tomorrow and a decent world for the Scouts of today.
It is significant that the highest praise one man can give another is he's a good scout. Incidentally, McGee, weren't you a Boy Scout?
Oh, sure. Beaver Patrol. Didn't you see me working like one on that piano?
I sure did. Now you can straighten out the closet. There's a job you can really get your teeth into.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This is the National Broadcasting Company. The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson Wax products for home and industry present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. When the end of the day comes around and you're out in the kitchen getting dinner, have you ever thought how nice it is to have floors that are always clean and sparkling? I mean linoleum floors that are protected regularly with Johnson's Glow Coat. They do sparkle and shine, and they're easy to keep that way. They brighten up your kitchen and make it a pleasanter place to work in. Spilled things are wiped up in a jiffy, and those old scrubbing days are gone forever. Glow Coat saves you work because it's self-polishing, needs no rubbing or buffing. And here's something you should know. The regular use of Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat makes linoleum last 6 to 10 times longer. That's one reason why linoleum manufacturers themselves recommend it. And it's a very good reason why you should try Johnson's Glow Coat on your floors. McGees of 79 Westwell Vista have been sticking very close to home lately. In fact, they haven't been 3 blocks from the house in months. But all that has been changed today, for here at 14th and Oak Street, 4 blocks from the house and on their way to the railroad station, we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
Now, come on, Molly, we gotta hurry. To me, the dumbest thing anybody can do is miss a train.
To me, the dumbest thing anybody can do is get such a late start they might miss the train. And I can't walk any faster carrying this heavy suitcase.
Oh, cheer up. Another 3 blocks, and it'll be my turn to carry it again. Doggone it, where are all the taxi cabs in this town anyway?
They're afraid to face all the increased business, I suppose.
All yellow, huh? Now, by George. Hey, here comes one. Hey, taxi! Hey!
He had 7 people jammed in it already, dearie. They'll have to get that first passenger out with a fork like a bottle of olives.
Did you call the station to find out what time the squaw leaves for San Francisco?
Yes, 20 after.
20 after what?
Just 20 after. That's as close as they dare predict these days. Incidentally, that's an odd name for a train. Why do they call it the squaw?
It goes out after the chief.
Well, I just wondered, but... McGee, here comes a cab.
Hey, taxi! Taxi! Whistle, Molly, whistle! Did you see that? Wouldn't stop, and he had an empty cab. And he was going about 40.
Maybe he was trying to make the garage before he ran out of gasoline.
Could be. Or maybe you didn't whistle loud enough.
I wish you wouldn't make me whistle like that, McGee. It isn't ladylike.
Yeah, well, gee whiz, you know, I tried to learn how once, but I got a pivot tooth, and it always turns around at me and blows me back 2 feet. Gosh, I hope we don't miss that train.
Oh, we'll make it. Don't you remember when we went...
Hey, here comes a taxi. Hey, taxi! Hey, taxi! That's wretched.
Well, that driver was at least friendly. He waved to you.
Yeah. Would have been even friendlier if he'd taken his hand away from his face while he did it.
Oh, well, he didn't mean it. Well, for goodness sake, here comes Alice, darling. You-hoo, Alice.
Mrs. McGee. Hello, Mr. McGee. Creepers, aren't you a little late to catch that train?
Oh, don't leave till 20 after, Alice.
20 after what?
Let's leave it at that, Alice. It gives us 24 chances.
Oh.
What brings you downtown, Alice? I thought you were working at the airplane plant today.
Oh, well, the foreman sent me down to the hardware store to get a pair of outside calipers.
Heavenly days, Alice. Isn't it pretty chilly these days to be working outside?
She don't know much about mechanics, Alice. You see, Molly, calipers are a tool that are used to...
Yeah?
It's what you got to use when you... It's sort of an interesting thing.
They're used to measure outside diameter.
Certainly. Outside diameter. What they got you working on at the plant now, Alice?
I'm tapering pinion flanges on booster gears for the intermediate drive shaft that controls the ratio between the hydraulic pressure housing and the hermetically sealed rig bead.
Oh. Well, how interesting. And what is a rig bead?
Oh, that's a military secret, Mrs. McGee.
Pretty well guarded, eh?
Guarded? Creepers. One of our workmen just pointed at it the other day and they shot his finger off.
Lucky he didn't bow to it.
Well, I don't want to delay you. I know you want to get down to that train.
Yeah, we better be trotting along.
See you when we get back, Alice.
Don't take any wooden shoe coupons, kid.
I won't. I might get in Dutch. Hope you make your train.
Isn't she a pretty girl, McGee?
Yeah, she even looks good in coveralls. Some women look like they were paying off an election bet on President Taft. You know, there's some... Oh, hey, here comes the taxi. Hey, taxi! Taxi! Oh, fine.
Oh, well, thank goodness.
Now, let me take the suitcase, Molly. It's too heavy for you to lift into the cab.
Thank you. Which hand am I carrying it with? They're both numb.
Left hand, I got it. Now, come on. Now, okay, driver, take it away and don't spare the spark plugs. Where to, Meg?
To the Union Station. Hurry now.
You can walk there about as quick as I can drive you, folks.
Well, we're in quite a hurry.
And don't give me any argument, Bud. Remember, the customer's always right. Yeah, but... Come on, get going. If a cop stops you, I'll handle it. I'm strictly a guy that walks into the mayor's office with his hat on. But, look, Doc.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Get going, will you? Right. Here we are, Union Station. 35 cents.
Why, you only went across the street.
35 cents just to make a U-turn? Why, that's robbery. I tried to tell you, Mac. Huh? Now, do you reach for 35 cents? Or do I reach for the jack handle? Let's see the jack handle. Here. I reach. Come on, Molly.
Billy Mills from the orchestra, and I Dream of You.
Heavens, McGee, look at all the people. Is it always like this down here?
Oh, sure. Stays just the same. For every person that goes away, somebody arrives.
Oh, look at that sailor kissing that girl. He acts like he wouldn't see her again for years. And maybe he won't.
Oh, yes, he will. He'll see her again tomorrow.
How do you know?
That's more Toops' boy, Charlie.
Oh?
Charlie always takes his girl to the station instead of the movies. Kissing isn't as conspicuous down there. You see, in a movie...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Carry your suitcase, sir.
Oh, yeah. Here you are, Bud.
Yes, sir. What train, please?
The Squaw. It leaves at 20 after, doesn't it?
Right on the dot, ma'am. Though, just between us folks, it's a very flexible dot.
What track does the Squaw leave on?
I can't say, sir. It'll be announced over the loudspeaker, or you can ask at the information desk. I'll meet you folks at the train.
Okay. My God, man. Get a load of that mob around the information desk.
They must be giving a pair of nylons away to the one who can ask the stupidest question. Oh, well, I suppose...
Your attention, please. Passengers may now board the Panhandle Express for Tulsa, Amarillo, San Antonio, two towns I can't pronounce, and Galveston. Ready at gate 3, please. Have your tickets ready. Thank you.
Ah, good old Texas. Where men are men even in high heels. I wonder when the Squaw leaves. Let's get to the information desk.
But, darling, we'll never get there. There are 200 people ahead of us.
Ah, bunch of peasants. No initiative. No brains. Sophisticated guys like me don't have to stand in line for anything.
Oh, that's the spirit, dearie. That's the spirit that gets you a poke in the nose.
Yeah. Now, you watch this, kiddo. Follow me and you'll see how it's done. All right, folks. Now, don't crowd. There's plenty of time for everybody.
Oh, dear.
Now, move back there a little, please. That's it. We're trying to give you the best service we can. But there's a war on, you know. Now, move back a little, please. Who is that guy? Just wait your turn. Is this the information desk, sis?
No, this is Grant's tomb. Will you please get back in line and wait your turn?
Now, don't get uppity with me, sis. I'm a friend of the general passenger agent.
A passenger agent has nobody but friends these days, sir. Now, please get back in line.
You might as well get your information while you're up here, McGee.
What? Natch. What track does the squaw leave on, sis?
The squaw's not made up yet, sir. She's having a little trouble with her lipstick. Now, will you please get back in line?
Oh, pipe down back there. Now, look, sis, you've been very impudent with me. I'm going to report you to the president of the road.
Very well, sir. His name is George H. Abercrombie.
And what's your name?
Mrs. George H. Abercrombie. Who is next, please?
Now, look, sis, I want...
Get that guy out of there!
Here. Come on, McGee. This will only lead to bloodshed in the train shed.
Fine state of how do you do. When a guy can't even get some information.
That's what you get for pushing yourself ahead of everybody. I warned
Your
you.
attention, please. If the gentleman who put the 15 cents in the cigarette machine will report to the station master's office, he will receive a refund and a short lecture on over-optimism. And now, a brief pause for station identification. This is the Union Station.
Maybe this whole idea was a mistake, McGee. Why don't we just give up and go home?
No, sir. By George, this thing may mean $10,000 to me, the biggest deal I ever got into. I'm going to be at that gate when the squaw's ready to pull out.
Well, my goodness. Oh, there's Mr. Wilcox. You, Mr. Wilcox.
Oh, Molly. Hiya, pal. Yeah, I never expected to meet you folks down here.
Listen to him, will you? For 10 years, at about this time on Tuesdays, he's been meeting us, and he still don't expect it. You take a long time to catch on, Junior.
Do you know what track the squaw leads on, Mr. Wilcox?
The squaw. Gee, that's that super deluxe train, isn't it?
Well, the best is none too good for me, Junior. Got a big deal pending on the West Coast.
Gosh, I always wanted to take a trip on that train myself. I hear they've got hot and cold running orange juice in every room.
Sure. And when you get to Albuquerque, the Indians come aboard and sell you General Custer's scalp. McGee bought 3 of them on his last trip.
Well, look, how long are you folks going to be gone? Because
Attention, please. For Mr. Harlow Wilcox, the Johnson Wax representative, please report to the announcer's desk.
Hey, that's you, Junior.
Yeah, I know. Listen a minute.
Calling Mr. Harlow Wilcox, who sells that wonderful Johnson's Wax, which makes housework so much easier and protects floors, furniture, and woodwork against dust and dampness. Thank you.
Why, that dirty double-crosser, he didn't say anything about...
It is also marvelous for luggage and leather goods of all kinds.
Well, all right.
Lampshades, windowsills, and 1,000 other protective and beautifying uses.
Heavenly days, Mr. Wilcox. How'd you ever manage...
Quiet a minute, Molly. He's got more than that to say to earn that $10 I slipped him.
No, I'm through, Wilcox. I had to split with the station master. That is all.
Why, Waxy, I'm ashamed of you. That was sheer bribery.
Oh, I just call it extra fare on the SP.
Southern Pacific?
Sales promotion. Besides, it's all in the family. The announcer's my cousin, Big Gerald Wilcox. Well, have a nice trip, folks. I'll see you when you get back.
Yeah, cousin, Big Gerald Wilcox. That guy's got more relatives than a dying millionaire. Hey, I hope that red cap don't lose my suitcase.
Oh, he won't, dearie. Those boys are all bonded.
I know, but it's that bonded stuff that always disappears first. That suitcase had 6
Your
months.
attention, please. Will the lady who left the baby in the women's lounge please go and speak to it for crying out loud? Thank you.
My goodness, you certainly see and hear some strange things around the railroad station, don't you, McGee?
Fascinating place. Well, I better get busy. I don't even know what track the squaw leaves on. I'll ask that Pullman porter over there talking to that woman.
Don't you know who that woman is?
Huh?
That's Beulah. Oh, Beulah! Beulah!
Well, for goodness sake, my people.
Hi, Beulah. What are you doing down here in this square roundhouse?
Oh, I just come down to meet Ira, sir. Ira, that's the gentleman with whom I'm going to commit matrimony.
Oh, yes, I met him one night when he called for you, Beulah. He seems very nice, too.
Oh, Ira's a fine man, ma'am, and so considerate. He said, after we're married, I can have breakfast in bed every morning.
Well, good for Ira.
Yes, sir. Only you see, when I bring it up to be real quiet on account, he don't like to get up till around 11.
Have you set a date for the wedding yet, Beulah?
Oh, several times, ma'am. But some always seem to happen. One time we picked out a justice of the peace, friend of Ira's. Only he didn't get re-elected, so that fell through. Then we got us a minister and we moved away, so that fell through. Then Ida and me was going to elope and he put a ladder up to my window and the ladder busted. Oh, Ida fell through.
Well, the road to romance is full of chuck holes, Beulah.
Yes, they sure is. It's also full of dangerous curves and soft shoulders. And I was too good looking to run around loose.
Yes, you better grab him and marry him quick, Beulah. Good husbands are hard to find, especially after you marry them.
Oh, I know. I'm not so hard to find. If I'm not at the Elks Club, you can always get me at the bowling alley.
Well, Beulah, I hope we're not going to lose your valuable services when you do get married.
Oh, no, Mary. At least not for a while, anyway. He don't expect me to give up my career. And good jobs with nice folks is hard to get.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Yes, a good job with nice folks is hard to get.
No, Beulah. No, Mr. McGee was just agreeing with you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
And don't mention it. Hey, Beulah, you got any idea what time the squall leaves and on what track?
No, sir, but they generally announce it over the speak louder.
Yes, I suppose they do, but we better find out anyway in case we miss the announcement.
And don't worry, we'll hear him. That guy's a one-man network. He's louder than a bag of peanuts at a sad movie.
Oh, louder than a bag of peanuts. I love that.
The King's Man and Poor Little Rhode Island.
Poor little Rhode Island, the smallest of the 48. You got the fairy moon for which coyotes grew. But I just think that you're great. You're such a teeny weeny poor little Rhode Island. Then all the Texans yet to find. You're still the best part of this land I dearly love. And I'll include away. They've written songs about the sun. They've written songs about the north. And I have heard them say they found the fine and to be in Carolina in the fall. It's the power of the sight, poor little Rhode Island. Be careful if you're fancy free. In Providence one day she stole my heart away. I dream of her constantly as the sun shines bright on your Kentucky home. Rhode Island's the place for me. Washington has the apples, Oregon has the trees. Florida gets the sunshine, Illinois gets the breeze. Every state has room to spare, all for fun. Still, I'd rather be right there than anywhere under the sun. Where's poor little Rhode Island? Be careful if you're fancy free. In Providence one day she stole my heart away. I dream of her constantly. Let the sun shine bright on your Kentucky home. Rhode Island's the place for me.
I tell you, Molly, I'm getting my back up about this. I've been pushed around like a boot camp wheelbarrow. I'm going to take this up with the big shot.
Well, why not? It's always a good idea to deal with executives. They may not know as much as the employees, but they conceal their ignorance better.
Well, by George.
Attention, please. If Mr. Omar J. Clunderlight will call at ticket window number 3, an upper berth has been reserved for him on the Onion Growers Special.
Happy upper birthday to you. Happy upper birthday to you. Happy upper birthday, you lucky Mr. Crumbskull Heights. Happy upper birthday to you.
Thank you.
Well, come on, let's get going, McGee. I've been standing around this railroad station so long, I'm almost tempted to say it.
Say what?
So long.
I didn't come down here to get treated like this. I've asked 12 people when and where the squirrel leaves, and nobody seems to know. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going right to the office of the president.
Oh, now, McGee, I don't know whether you
Don't worry now. Don't worry. I can do it. I tuned the piano, didn't I?
Yeah? Well, where is the president?
I don't know, but I'll find out. Hey, I'll ask that heavy-set guy over there. Hey, Bud.
Yes?
Oh, heavenly days, it's Dr. Gamble. Hello, Doctor.
Hello, Molly. Hello, Groucho. What are you looking so sore about?
Oh, I can't get any information around this joint. I got business on the West Coast, and I can't seem to find out when the squall leaves or on what tracks it leaves on.
So you're taking a train trip, are you? You realize you're making a chump out of me as a fortune teller, my friend?
What do you mean, Doctor?
I always predicted he'd be ridden out of town on a rail. Now he's going out on two of them. Well, I'm glad you're getting away for a while, McGee. It's going to be very therapeutic.
Oh, I don't know. I think it might be good for me.
That's what I said, ignoramus. Just where are you going, if I'm not being too nosy?
Oh,
Don't tell him, Molly, don't tell him. The old snoop is just being inquisitive.
Why, you egocentric little jackdaw. I don't care two butts in a brass ashtray where you go.
Huh?
Or how far or for how long. In fact, if you ever want a roomette on a rocket to Neptune, I know 40 people who'll beg to chip in for it.
Those are harsh words, Doctor.
Ah, harsh words, my clavicle. He's so full of wind he can whistle Dixie through his ear.
Take it easy there, lobster pot. Take it easy, or I'll take you across my lap and dust your holster.
Now, boys, for goodness
You
sake.
haven't had a lap for 20 years. You muscle-bound old serum salesman.
Is that so? Why, you... Say, I don't want you to miss your train, McGee.
I think we better be going at that, Doctor.
Yeah, nice to see you, Doc, old man.
Same here, buddy. Have a nice trip. I'll miss you.
Well, thanks, Doc. See you soon.
Take care of yourself, fella.
I will, sport. Well, come on.
Isn't he a sweet old character?
Yeah, great guy, Doc.
Do you think you and he will ever really come to blows, dearie?
Nah, we're both in such lousy condition we wouldn't dare. Well, come on, Molly. Here's the executive offices right here.
Hey, maybe the president of the railroad doesn't have his offices here, McGee.
I'll soon find out from Gravel Gertie over there. Hey, sis, I want to talk to the president of the railroad. Or the chairman of the board, or somebody. I'm getting mighty tired.
Excuse me, sir. I was just passing through, and I heard you mention the president of the railroad. What could I do for you?
Heavenly days, are you a railroad president?
Yes, madam. Why not?
Well, it can't be much of a railroad. You're not wearing a gate-ajar collar.
Well, we only wear those in the advertisements, madam.
Oh?
Now, what could I do for you, sir? I am Mr. Abercrombie.
Well, I'm glad to know you, Ab. This is my wife, Mrs. McGee.
How do you do, I'm sure?
Oh, how do you do?
I'm her husband, Mr. McGee. Now, look, Ab, old man, I want to ask a simple question, and I want a simple answer. When and where does the squaw leave this station?
Track 9 at 20 after.
20 after what, Mr. Abercrombie?
Don't fence me in, Mrs. McGee. 20 after whatever hour it's made up. I can't give you any more information than that.
Oh, you can't, eh? Do you want it kicked around in railroad circles in Washington that you refuse to assist a federal investigator, Abercrombie?
A federal investigator? Oh, certainly not, sir. Certainly not. I was merely pointing.
That's all, Abercrombie. You either give me some cooperation around here,
I'd like to ask you for your credentials, Mr. McGee.
I have nothing more to say, Abercrombie. Come, Mrs. McGee.
Shall we walk or run?
I say I'd like to ask for your credentials, sir, but of course I won't. I'll take you to the gate and see that you catch the squaw myself. Now, right this way, please. And Miss Jones, give Harrison of the Missouri and Akron calls. Give him $3,500,000 for that 30-mile spur track. Take it out of petty cash. Come, Mr. McGee. I'll meet you at gate 9, Mr. McGee. I'll go ahead and clear the way for you.
Now, thanks, Ab.
You know, McGee, you're going to get in trouble one of these days. You're no federal investigator.
Well, I was once. Remember when I investigated prospects for the federal loan on your signature only company back in Peoria? I was the first customer. Come on, hurry up.
All right, Mr. McGee. Right through the gate here. One side, please, folks. Thank you. What car is your reservation in?
This car right here's the one I want, Bud. Here we are, the mail car. Hey, you in there. Hey, Bud. Yeah, take this letter, will you? Thanks. Well, That's that, Molly.
Oh, I see, Mr. McGee. A postal inspector.
No, he's a limerick writer.
What?
I'm entering a limerick contest on the coast, Abercrombie. Had to mail my entry on this train, or it would have been too late. Might mean $10,000 to me if I don't get that in there in time.
Well, I'll be... You mean you're not leaving on this train?
Why, certainly not. Suppose they answered that letter and I wasn't here. That'd be an awful.
There you are, sir. Where can I put your suitcase?
Just put it in a taxi cab, Red Cap.
Yeah, make it snappy, will you, Red Cap? I got 3 weeks washing in that bag, and I gotta get to the laundry before it closes. Come on, Molly. Thanks, Abercrombie.
Have you ever noticed how important those last finishing touches are to the looks of your home? Just the right curtains or lampshades, the proper placement of pictures? Yes, and the rich gleam of wax-polished floors and furniture and accessories. When you enter a home that's wax-protected, you can tell the difference immediately, because the beauty that wax gives is unmistakable. Floors become lovelier with every application of Johnson's wax. Tabletops and chair arms and bookcases have elegance and charm when they wear a coat of Johnson's wax. Windowsills, Venetian blinds, picture frames, and ornaments look their best if you keep them clean and shining with regular applications of that same Johnson's wax. It costs so little, goes so far, yet nothing equals it for making your home inviting.
You never did show me that limerick you sent in. What was it?
A $10,000 first prize for the best limerick about gas racing.
Oh, and what did you send?
I says, a civilian named John Henry Cass kept yapping for more and more gas, but shut up about fuel when they sent his renewal addressed simply to Mr. Jackass.
Well, that's very good, dearie.
I thought so. Good night.
Good night, all.
Speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you all to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This is the National Broadcasting Company. The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. Makers of Johnson Wax products for home and industry present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn and Bill Leslie, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. You know that old expression, beauty is but skin deep? Well, like many of our proverbs, it's both true and untrue. Great beauty, whether it's in a person, a rose, or a chair, comes from deep inside as an expression of character and inner quality. But you'd be surprised how much beauty you can add to many things and how much quality you can bring out by giving them a skin-deep polish with Johnson's Wax. Try it for yourself. Take a room that hasn't been waxed at all. And then Johnson waxes floors, furniture and woodwork, the windowsills, Venetian blinds, picture frames, parchment lampshades, and ornaments. I think you'll be astonished at the difference in beauty alone. And on top of that, remember that the main purpose of wax is protection of surfaces against dirt, wear, and moisture, to make them last and to preserve their beauty. Those are the main reasons why good housekeepers everywhere have adopted the wax housekeeping method with genuine Johnson's Wax, paste, liquid, or cream. Mr. and Mrs. Fibber McGee of 79 Wistful Vista have just had a visitor, one of the city's most eminent men of letters. He's gone now, and here reading the letters he left,
we find Fibber McGee and Molly. What's the mail, Molly?
Well, here's the notice from the gas company, the final one. Here's a postal from the Elks Club addressed to you.
For me, what's it say?
Special meeting of the executive committee Friday evening.
Oh, fine.
It says, don't come, you're not on.
Oh. Hey, what's that big, important-looking envelope there?
Letter from the Red Cross. It's for you.
Oh, swell. Read that, Molly. I've been expecting that ever since last...
Well, it says, Dear Mr. McGee, thank you for again volunteering your help in the Red Cross War Fund drive in your neighborhood.
Oh, fine.
I didn't know you asked for that job again, did you?
Oh, sure I asked for it. I'm probably the only guy in town who can handle it.
Now, wait a minute.
Huh?
It says, however, we are unable to use your services this year, as we have already appointed someone to cover your district and...
What? Can't use my services?
That's what it says.
Well, that's gratitude for you. Year after year, I go out and work like a dog, barking at some people, wagging my tail at others, and what
How
happens?
many year after years, dearie?
Well, last year after, I did. Anyway, so what happens? They brush me off like the back of a neck in a barber shop. Point somebody else, eh? Some dummy who'll mess things all up the quota. Can't use me, eh?
No.
Got somebody else, have they?
Yeah.
Who?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Oh. No, that's different. Well, I'll just go along with you, Molly, and help you out, show you the ropes. I got some
Oh,
ideas.
you don't need to go, dearie. I'll manage all right. You just relax around here this afternoon.
Oh, you're no salesman, Molly. My gosh, I've had a lot of experience with this stuff.
Mrs. McGee, Mr. McGee.
Hello, Alice, dear. Come in.
Hi, Alice.
Did you get your letter off the hall table, dear?
Yes, thank you. It was from Tommy Davis. You remember the sailor?
Oh, yeah, the kid we had for dinner.
Yeah.
Where is he now?
Well, he says his ship is laid up in San Francisco on account of they broke their rudder.
Broke their rudder what? Did you get it, kids? Their rudder what? It's a sort of a pun involving the similarity between rudder and their other, you see. Basically, of course, the misunderstanding...
Ain't funny, McGee.
Oh, well, it isn't so much what I say, it's the way I say it. Gotta watch my expression and see how I mug it up.
I'm almost afraid to ask, because I think it has something to do with a cow, but what is a rudder anyway?
Well, it's a thing they steer a boat with, Mrs. McGee.
Oh, I thought that was the steerage.
Oh, certainly not. The steerage is where they put the steers on a cattle.
Oh, no, I think that's called a hornpipe, Mr. McGee.
Oh, sure it is. What was I thinking of? Much as I know about boats, too. I used to be lookout on a steamship on Lake Erie, Alice.
Oh?
Used to stand up there in the plow and keep an eye out for rocks.
You mean prow, Mr. McGee?
I sure was. Proud as a peacock. Standing there with the lives of the whole crew depending on me. They wanted to make me a bosun's mate, but I says no. I said, sorry, boys, I don't drink.
I tell you, Alice, he was quite a freshwater sailor. In fact, one of the freshest water sailors I ever met. I remember...
Oh, creepers, I almost forgot what I came down here for. Have you got a 3-cent stamp I could borrow?
Well, that depends, Alice. You got any security?
Oh, don't let him kid you, Alice. Help yourself out of the desk drawer. But don't take a 3 now. Take an airmail. It'll go faster.
Oh, but a 3 is all right. I'm always borrowing your stamp.
Go on. Take an airmail. There's only a nickel difference. What's a nickel to me?
50 cents.
Oh, no, folks, I won't take an airmail.
Stop arguing, Alice. Take an airmail. We got plenty.
Yes, but
Let's not fight over a few pennies, Alice. Take an airmail.
But...
Airmail.
Well, all right. Only this letter is only going downtown and...
Downtown?
Yes. It's my Red Cross War Fund donation. I'm mailing it in.
Red Cross? Hey, I'll take care of that for you, kid. Yes, sir. I and Mrs. McGee are in charge of collections in this neighborhood.
Oh, you are?
Yes, we are, dear. All except Mrs. McGee. But I thought you donated at the plant, Alice. Didn't they have a...
I did, Mrs. McGee, all I could afford, I thought. But we heard from my cousin yesterday.
Oh?
He's been missing in action since Christmas, but the Red Cross has located him in a prisoner of war camp, and he's not even hurt.
Oh, how wonderful, Alice.
Gee, if it wasn't for the Red Cross, we still wouldn't know. I went right upstairs and broke my piggy bank. I don't really need a new dress anyway. I'll see you later.
Well, I better get my blanks together and the stickers for the windows and get started collecting.
Well, I'm ready anytime, baby. And if you're still in doubt about needing me along, that ought to answer your question. I just nabbed your first customer for you without even getting out of my chair.
Oh, dear.
Besides, I got a little angle that I want to...
Come in.
Hello, Molly. Hello, tiresome.
Oh, come in, Dr. Gamble.
Yeah, sit down, tonsil tester. You out on an errand of mercy? Staying away from some poor guy so he can get well?
I'm just getting ready to start on my Red Cross drive, McGee. Can't stay but a minute.
Red Cross drive?
Yep. You see before you, unless your bifocals need adjusting again, a duly accredited captain of the Wistful Vista Red Cross drive in charge of district number 42.
Oh, well, I'm a Red Cross captain, too, Dr. Gamble.
Yeah.
I've got District 43 right next to yours, I guess.
And don't go poking your big fat nose into our district either.
Our district?
Yeah.
I thought Molly was in charge of it. Did you know when they appointed you, my dear, that you'd have little lock pockets here along to insult your clients for you?
Well, McGee thought he ought to help me, Doctor, though frankly...
You're darn right I ought to help her. And we'll collect so much more than you hickory-dickory doctor, that you'll be coming home looking like a panhandler on Tobacco Road.
$5 says you don't, Noisy.
$5 says we do.
Register that wager, Molly. I don't mind admitting I'm on the short end of it.
Why, Doctor?
Well, with that sweet smile of yours to coax people with, and the colossal stug of little Herman here, you got the edge on me.
My colossal what?
Stug. S-T-U-G.
What's that?
If you'll pardon the expression, my dear, it's intestinal fortitude spelled backwards. And good luck with it.
Well, McGee, I can't quite see why you're so anxious to help me collect these Red Cross donations.
Oh, you'll see, kiddo, you'll see. Now, look, when you ring the doorbell and ask for their donation, they'll invite us in, won't they?
Occasionally, I suppose.
Yeah, right then is when I go to work.
What?
That's when I give them my sales talk on the Magnifico low-freeze icebox. Available in 6, 8, and 12-foot cubic sizes. With a patent
Oh,
authority.
no, McGee, no, please, no.
Billy Mills and the orchestra and two guitars.
McGee, darling, let's just stick to collecting for the Red Cross today, shall we? Don't try to sell any more low-freeze ice boxes.
Oh, shucks, it wasn't as if I wasn't doing the gals a favor. Blah, 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 blah. A low-freeze icebox that freezes vegetables and fruit instantly is one of the finest.
Yes?
Are you Mrs. Henry Gunderson?
Yes.
We're Red Cross captains for this district, sis. Mr. and Mrs. McGee.
Here are the credentials, Mrs. Gunderson.
Oh, yes, thank you. I have the check ready for you, if you'll excuse me a moment.
Very cooperative woman. She'll be a cinch to order a Magnifico low-freeze icebox. I'll bet the built-in radio feature will appeal to her.
Yeah.
And the bushel-a-day ice cube attachment.
Look, dearie, let's just...
Here's my check, Mrs. McGee. The Red Cross has taken such good care of my boy Jimmy since he's been overseas that I've doubled my donation this year.
Oh, well, we appreciate that very much, Mrs. Gunderson.
Yeah, much obliged, Gundy. Now, one more thing. Would you be interested in an icebox that freezes vegetables and fruits instantly? Comes in 8, 12, and 16 cubic foot sizes, built-in radio and glass partitions that keep the onions from moving in on the butter?
I would indeed.
Huh? Oh, swell. I'll put your name down with the number 1 priority. Our representative will call on you.
Thank you. Good day.
Mrs. Gunderson, prospect number 11.
McGee, what is all this?
How much did she give you?
The check is for $60.
Wow. You only had her down for 30. I can put the other 30 in on the icebox.
No, you don't. I guess not. This is Red Cross money.
Well, anyway, it looks like I'd win that $5 from old Doc. Who are we calling on now?
Let me see the list. Oh, yes. Mr. Walter Sarkis.
Sarpus.
Sarkis. S-A-R-P-U-S. Sarkis. How about this silly old low-freeze icebox, McGee? Please, listener.
Well, what is it now? Can a man get a little sleep in this neighborhood without every two-bit razor blade peddler sticking his big fat thumb on the doorbell?
Now, just a darn minute, brother.
Now, quiet, McGee. Are you Mr. Sarkis?
Who wants to know?
I do. I represent the Red Cross for this district, and I'd like to save you the trouble of mailing or bringing in your donation.
And who said I had any donations?
Oh, going to be like that, are you, bud? Don't you realize...
Lady, will you please hide your face in your handbag a minute while I pop this little pipsqueak one in the nostrils?
No, I will not. I'm merely calling for your Red Cross donation, Mr. Sarkis. If you don't want to help, just say so, and you'll be perfectly within your rights. Do you have a son in the service?
No, I haven't.
Got a mother, Sarkis?
You leave my mother out.
Mr. Sarkis, there are several million men fighting for us who leave their mothers out of it. And the Red Cross is a mother to all of them. Come on, McGee, I guess
Wait a minute. Suppose I donate to the Red Cross. How do I know where my dough goes?
How do you know where your taxes go, bud?
Government expenditures are on file in the Library of Congress.
So are the financial statements of the Red Cross.
No kidding? Well, nobody ever told me that before. Here's $25, and I do begrudge it. Now make it 50. Might as well begrudge a lot.
Nasty old pup, wasn't he?
Well, the poor man was sleeping. He had this $50 in his hand from the minute I said Red Cross. He just wanted to argue a little.
If you hadn't been with me, I'd have fed him a handful of knuckles.
Really?
Had a terrible time holding my temper. I saw how big he was. From then on, it was easy.
Why didn't you try to sell him an icebox?
He didn't deserve one. This is a very special kind of an icebox, and there won't be enough for everybody that wants it. When you consider it's got a built-in radio on it, tuned so fine it'll throw the tenor out of a quartet, why, it's a very...
Oh, what was it, please?
Mrs. Smith, I'm Mrs. McGee.
Oh, yes, Mrs. McGee. The Red Cross called me, and I was expecting you to drop by. Here's my check, and I'm sorry it isn't more.
That's the spirit, sis. Now, would you be interested in a low-freeze icebox that freezes...
Is, this gentleman with you, Mrs. McGee?
Yes, he is, Mrs. Smith. My husband, Mr. McGee.
Delighted.
How do you do? As I was saying, Mrs. McGee, I'm sorry we couldn't give more to the Red Cross this year. When our daughter was in the hospital and there weren't enough nurses to go around, it was a Red Cross nurse's aide who stayed day and night with her.
Say, did you ever think of taking a Red Cross nurse's aide course yourself, Mrs. Smith?
Well, for goodness sake, can I?
Oh, sure you can, sis. I was going to take it myself, but I could never learn to read a thermometer. When you get 6 patients in a row with a temperature of 16 2/10, it scares the way out of you.
You can join my class, Mrs. Smith. I'll call on you in a day or so and tell you all about it.
Thank you so much. Good day.
Good day.
And now about that icebox, Smithy. It's got a built-in radio, an electric eye door control, a gadget that will freeze and did you see that panicky look in her face when she shut the door, Molly? She knew she wasn't going to be able to resist it. I'll put her down as a definite prospect.
McGee, I do wish you'd let me get through with my Red Cross business before you start tossing ice cubes at people. Or better still, say, why don't you run down to the Elks Club and play 15 or 20 games of billiards?
My God, 15 or 20 games of billiards. Why, that'd take all day.
Yes, I know.
Who lives here?
Well, according to my schedule, it's a Mr. Charles Tyner. He's new in the neighborhood.
Yeah?
Mr. Tyner, I'm collecting for the Red Cross.
Well, here's mine, $100. Good day.
Didn't have to twist his arm very hard, did you? That guy must be an upholsterer. He works on springs.
I like those fast ones. Doesn't give you a chance to start that low-freeze icebox routine of yours.
Who lives here?
Mrs. Frank Dixon. And don't keep asking me that, dearie. You'll hear me addressing them by name. Besides, I don't want to...
What was it, please?
Good day, Mrs. Dixon. I'm Mrs. McGee, captain of this district to collect Red Cross War Fund donations. Did they call you by phone?
Oh, yes, they did, Mrs. McGee. I was expecting you. But would you mind waiting just a minute? I have a visitor who will be leaving very shortly.
Oh, take time, Dixie, take time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and Berlin won't be either.
Thank you. I will be but a minute.
And as I was saying, Mrs. Dixon, in addition to making your linoleum last 6 to 10 times longer, Johnson's self-polishing glow coat saves you hours and hours of housework.
Wilcox, we certainly run into him everywhere, don't we?
That guy's as prevalent as an A card. Sometimes I
You
wonder...
say glow coat needs no rubbing or buffing, Miss Wilcox?
Nary a rub or a buff, Mrs. Dixon. Just spread it on and let it dry. And I showed you how it brings out the beauty and luster of your linoleum. Another thing, it makes those things so easy to wipe up. You know, there's an old saying among housewives that worn linoleum was once a hoodoo, but with glow coat it lasts as long as you do.
Get a load of the old saying Waxy just made up.
Quiet, dear, he's putting on his hat.
Well, thank you very much for the demonstration, Mr. Wilcox. I'm certainly sold on Johnson's glow coat.
Well, everybody is who uses it, Mrs. Dixon. They say it. Well, hello, Molly. Hiya,
Hello,
pal.
Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Waxy.
Well, I see you people know each other.
Sure.
Know each other? Why, we knew him when he was just a little moppet. Not knowing that when he grew up, moppet would be a fighting word.
I'm glad we ran into you, Mr. Wilcox. How about your Red Cross War Fund donation? I'm collecting in this district.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry, Molly. I sent mine in through the office this morning.
A likely story, Junior. We heard that gag 100 times today.
Well, I did. Look, here's my receipt.
That's all right, Mr. Wilcox. Doesn't matter who gets it as long as it was for the Red Cross.
Oh, that's what I thought. Well, good day, Mrs. Dixon. So long, pal.
Ta-ta, Junior. Wear your prettiest pajamas tonight. We'll see you in our dreams.
Well, keep your voice down, pal. I hear you in mine. So long, Molly.
I'm very sorry to have kept you waiting, Mrs. McGee. Here's my donation. I hope you don't mind taking cash.
Mind? Sis, no artist has yet caught the fragile beauty of the evening sun, casting its rosy glow over a human lunchbook full of folding money.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Dixon. This is a very generous contribution.
Well, it's really more than I'd expected to give this year, Mrs. McGee. But my nephew was a prisoner of war at Manila. When he wrote about what the Red Cross does for our boys in prison camps in the way of food and medicine and communication, I just felt I had to.
Yes, I know, Mrs. Dixon. They're doing a wonderful job.
Now, one more thing, sis. Would you be interested in a low-freeze icebox with plastic sides that revolve so you don't have to take out all the milk to see if you still got bacon?
Well, that seems a very interesting...
In addition to which, besides, it has a built-in butter slicer.
No, I couldn't use one. I don't have any butter. Good day.
The King's Men singing the Typewriter Serenade.
February 27, 1945. This old Underwood digs at a jive. Oh, tap-a-tap-a-ting, tap-a-tap-a-ting, tap-a-tap-a-ting. It's singing, singing you the news in a little typewriter serenade. Every little tap means a little kiss, tap-a-tap-a-ting. It's ringing, bringing you my heart in a little typewriter serenade. And while I'm typing out this letter, I'd better enclose more kisses. Tap-a-tap-a-ting, tap-a-tap-a-ting, tap-a-tap-a-ting. It is ending, sending you my love in a little typewriter serenade, 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 serenade. Page 1 is through, and here's page 2. Just a line or two telling you what's new so you won't be blue, my darling. Sending you the news in a little typewriter serenade. I called upon the gun, Junior had the mumps. Gee, I miss the dun. I miss you, thought I'd tell you so in a little typewriter serenade. And while I'm writing you this letter, I'd better get finished with it. So I'll say goodnight, don't forget to write till I hold you tight. Real soon, dear, here's all my love in a little typewriter serenade, 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 serenade. The typewriter serenade.
Well, I must say that was a very successful collection tour, McGee. People were certainly generous with it.
Personally, I'm awful glad to be home. That last 6 blocks, my feet were just walking from memory.
Well, I'm pretty tired myself. How about a nice cup of tea, dearie?
Ah, love it.
I'll have Beulah fix us up a snack.
Fine.
Oh, Beulah! Beulah!
Somebody ball for Beulah?
Hi, Beulah. Look, rascal us up something to eat, will you? I'm tired and hungry.
Yes, sir, I'll get you up some stuff right away. You sure look tired yourself, honey, child.
Oh, I am, Beulah. And I've talked to so many people today, my throat feels like an abandoned gravel pit. Just make us some hot tea and sandwiches, will you, please?
I sure will, ma'am. How you come out with a collection? Did folks really take a loose brick out of the fireplace and dig out the door?
They were 12, Beulah. We got our quota.
Excuse me?
He said we got our quota, Beulah.
You mean, ma'am, you walk them pretty little legs off all day long and only come home with a quota?
Not quarter, Beulah, quota. It's a Latin word, meaning, boy, will we be surprised if we get this much.
Yes, our quota was 450 and we collected 595, Beulah. Isn't that grand?
It's over $50,000 anyway.
There we go. Oh, you're never too tired to make a joke, is you?
He's never too tired to make a tired joke, at least.
I'm so tired that tired joke sounded like a retread even to me.
Oh, before I forget, ma'am, I want to give something to little old Red Cross myself. Just $5. Ain't much, but it represents several months of self-refusal in the candy department.
Well, thank you very much, Beulah. This makes our collection now an even $600.
As the horse says when he eats excelsior, that ain't hay, is it, ma'am?
You can say that again.
Thank you, sir. As the horse says when it eats
No, Beulah, he means you're right.
Now, shake it up with that tea and sandwich thing, will you, Beulah? I'm as empty as a campaign promise.
Listen to the mess. Oh, look at it. Love that tired man.
So we got $600, eh?
Yes.
I'll bet that bet is in the bag. Wonder how much Gamble collected.
Well, I don't know, but I'll be surprised if it's this much.
Hey, incidentally, you know how many prospects I got for the Magnifico plastic icebox? 27.
Look, McGee, now that we're home, tell me more about this wonderful refrigerator.
Well?
Who makes them and when did...
Come in.
Oh, hello, Doctor.
Hello, Molly. Well, how much do you collect?
Now, you tell us first, sharpshooter.
Why, you nasty, suspicious, evil-minded little goon. Do you think I'd stoop so low as to falsify my figures just to win a paltry $5 wager from you?
Come to think of it, no. In the first place, you haven't been able to stoop for 20 years. And in the second place, you couldn't falsify that figure of yours with 2 corsets and a diet of beef tea.
Well, there can't be any argument about the amounts anyway, Doctor. My collections are all listed, and I suppose yours are, too.
Correct. Here's my list.
And here's mine.
We got an even 600 smackers, smart boy. Stop that.
I'll try. I have 598 on my list.
That's right, McGee. That's what he's got.
So we won by $2. I knew all the time.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Have you got your donation on that list, Molly?
Why, certainly, Doctor.
Well, I'm sorry, my dear, but that goes on my list.
What?
Why, my district was number 42, and it begins with your house. See the list?
Well, heavenly days, so it does. Well, here's our donation, Doctor.
Well, of all the petty larceny, double-crossing, snide tricks I ever heard of.
And as for the $5 you now owe me, McGee, buy Molly a box of candy and a box of matches. After spending a day with you, she can use a little sweetness and light.
I never in all my life heard of such a low-down ornery
And save your breath, short snort. There'll be an Elks picnic in June, and we'll need you to blow up the balloon. Good day.
What's so funny, McGee?
I knew all the time our house was on his list. I was hoping you wouldn't notice it. Well, I gotta get to work. Where's my T-square and my triangle, Molly, and a ruler and a lot of paper and pencil?
What are you going to do now?
You know that Magnifico low-freeze icebox I took all the orders for?
Yes?
Well, somebody's got to invent one. It won't just happen. Now, let me see if I put the ice trays toward the bottom so they won't drip on the milk bottle.
Psychologists tell us that color is very important in our lives. If you surround yourself with bright, cheerful colors, you're apt to be bright and cheerful, too. You as a homemaker know this. It's one reason you like beautiful linoleum on your kitchen and other floors. It's one reason you keep your linoleum surfaces new-looking with Johnson's Glow Coat. Of course, you know that besides keeping the colors bright and sparkling, Glow Coat saves you many hours of work throughout the year. It's self-polishing, needs no rubbing or buffing. You simply apply Glow Coat, and it dries in 20 minutes to a beautiful polish. And you know also that Glow Coat protects the linoleum against wear, dirt, and moisture. In fact, regular care with Johnson's Glow Coat makes linoleum last much longer. But if it did nothing more than keep your floors bright and cheerful and shining, it would be well worth its small cost and little work.
Ladies and gentlemen, the collectors for the Red Cross War Fund will come to your house one of these days. So give generously to them.
If we give till it hurts over here, it will help a lot of the boys who are hurt over there.
Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This is the National Broadcasting Company. Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson Wax products for home and industry present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn and Bill Leslie, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. While you were getting the dinner or doing the dishes tonight, did you take a good look at your linoleum floor covering? Were you satisfied with its appearance, or was it a little on the dull and shabby side? Well, you know, there's a very good remedy for that trouble. Just treat your floor to a beauty treatment with Johnson's Glow Coat. Then you'll have not only sparkling beauty and bright, fresh colors, but you'll have protection and long life for the linoleum. Manufacturers of linoleum themselves recommend Glow Coat. Regular care with this easy-to-use polish adds greatly to the life of the floor covering. Johnson's Glow Coat is self-polishing. It needs no rubbing or buffing. All you do is apply and let dry. In 20 minutes, your floor is something to be proud of. And it's easier to keep clean because spilled things wipe up in a jiffy when your floor is protected with Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat. Some people think the reason a newspaper is printed in several sections is so the wind can blow it all over the neighborhood easier. This is an erroneous idea. It's really so two people can read it at the same time. Like at 79 Wistful Vista, where one with the sports page and the other with the affairs of society, we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
I see where ham-faced Gorton, the Denver destroyer, KO'd Slugger Malone in the 5th round, McGee.
Oh, Molly, please. That don't sound good coming from you.
Well, blame yourself, dearie. You're the one who handed me the sports section while you grabbed the news.
Yeah, but my gosh, I never...
Oh, listen. Gorilla Grogan, the Memphis murderer, wins match tussle with Boris, the Bulgarian bone breaker. The gorilla...
Okay. You win. I'll swap sections with you.
Thank you. You know, I never could understand. Isn't this sweet?
Isn't what sweet?
This about Mr. and Mrs. Calvin W. Hookweiler of South Oak Street.
What's about it?
They're celebrating their golden wedding anniversary. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, I guess it is at that. She must be the kind of woman who never opens perfume bottles with her husband's razor blades.
Yeah. Then he must be the kind of a man who never nags when his wife burns the bacon.
I like burned bacon. Charcoal. Good for the heat. Besides, you never saw...
Oh, McGee. I hope you and I can celebrate our golden wedding anniversary. Wouldn't that be grand, dearie?
Oh, sure, goodness. Hey, wait a minute. That's a wonderful idea, Molly. Why don't we do that?
Well, fine, but I don't have to go take off my apron and put on my face right now, do I?
Huh?
We've still got about 25 years to go.
I mean, celebrate our golden wedding right now, today.
Oh, McGee, you can't do that. You got to be married 50 years.
Ah, that's the trouble with people. Always wait until the last minute. We're going to celebrate our golden wedding. Let's celebrate it right now while we're sure of it.
But, McGee, you can't
We'll get a few friends over here and have... Oh, wait a minute. I got a better idea. I'm going to take you out tonight, baby.
That does it. That's for me. You talked me into it.
Yes, sir. We'll get Doc and Harlow and Alice together and all go down to Whistle Vista Biltmore for dinner and a little dancing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, my, our golden wedding. It is silly, McGee, but... Oh, dear, I haven't got a gift for you.
Oh, forget it. But I already got something for you. I was going to save it for your birthday, but this is better.
Oh, McGee, you darling. What is it? Come on, tell me.
No, I'll give it to you later.
Well, I'll think of something nice for you.
Okay.
Say, if we're going out for dinner, let's give Beulah the night off.
Why not?
Okay. Beulah! Oh, Beulah!
Somebody fall for Beulah?
Yeah, look, Beulah. Mrs. McGee and I are celebrating our golden wedding anniversary tonight, and...
You doing which twins?
We're celebrating our golden wedding anniversary tonight, Beulah.
Well, for goodness sake. When did folks just get married back in that little old Peoria when they was 2 weeks old?
No, we haven't been married 50 years yet, Beulah.
Of course not.
Oh, you mean it only seemed like 50 years, man.
Yeah. No, Beulah. You see, Mr. McGee just decided we ought to celebrate our golden wedding while we were still more or less young. It is pretty silly, isn't it?
What do you mean, silly?
Why, man, I think it's just wonderful.
Sure.
I'm plumb flabbergasted. My sister, she's always talking about celebrating her wedding anniversary, but she never get around to it.
Why not? No time?
No, sir, no husband. What are you going to do tonight, man? You going to have the ceremony again and toss your bridal bouquet downstairs? Because if so, you're going to find Beulah out there in left field.
No, we're just tossing a little wing-ding for a few friends, Beulah. A little dinner party.
Oh, my, I'm going right away. Oh, Beulah's going to whip you all up a 5-cheer wedding cake.
Oh, Beulah, you mean 5 cheers.
Ain't gonna be no cheers today, ma'am. This is happy stuff.
Well, thanks, Beulah, but we're going to eat downtown tonight, and you can take the evening off.
Oh, well, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Ira's in town tonight.
Oh.
We may go down to the Dreamland Ballroom tonight and chirp us a little chicory. I saw you ain't had a party at home, though. I'd love to make you some punch.
And I could go for some, too, Beulah. You make good punch?
Sir, when I deliver that punch, it's a knockout. My uncle invented the recipe, although he ain't been able to make it much since he got hurt in an explosion.
Oh, my, what exploded, Beulah?
The bowl of punch he was making.
Yeah, well, that sounds like his recipe went over with a bang.
Yes, it did really well. Oh, look at here, what the man is saying. Love that golden wedding couple.
Billy Mills and the orchestra and Sophia.
I says to myself, Alice, I says, we may not all be together 25 years from now, I says, so I says, why not celebrate it now, I says.
Oh, I think it's a wonderful idea, Mr. McGee. Let me see now. When you're married 25 years, that's your silver anniversary.
Yep.
50 is gold, of course. What's 75?
Diamond.
And 100?
When you're married 100 years, Alice, you just totter over to the phone and call Ripley. That's what's known as getting into his column the hard way. Why, if I
didn't know you were in here, Alice. Are you coming to our dinner party tonight, dear?
Oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world, Mrs. McGee. I love parties anyhow. I just went to one night before last.
What do you do, dear? Do you play parlor games or dance?
Well, we play games. Grown-up games, of course, like spin the bottle and post office.
Post office? Ah, I draw the line at that.
You do, Mr. McGee?
Yes, Alice. Due to an unfortunate experience in his youth.